Hello, lovelies. It's me, Maple, and today we're going to be doing another Choose Your Own tarot reading. I'm going to be reading 3 separate sets, so all you need to do is choose which set you'd like for your reading, and then you can either jump ahead to your own set or you can listen to all the sets and wait for your own. And to choose your set, all I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, one more deep breath in, one more deep breath out, and now choose a number from 1 to 3. Got it? Good. Let's begin. I actually did something a little bit different for this tarot video, and I actually asked 2 of my friends to pick 5 cards, and I also picked 5 cards, and all 3 of them actually suited us quite well, so that was interesting. But we're going to be beginning with our first pull now. And our first card signifies where you've come from. And we have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords signifies ambition, purpose, mission. What I think that it can signify here is either you're coming from a place where you've identified your vision and it's been quite clear for you, or it could also signify that you've been putting all your focus on one singular thing and not actually kept your mind open towards the bigger picture. But also be careful that you're not blinding yourself by focusing on one thing. Make sure you take some time to take a step back and really evaluate things for the bigger picture. Next, we have your next steps. And we have the Nine of Swords, but reversed. The Nine of Swords indicates that you'll be experiencing stress or anxiety from unresolved issues in your past. Maybe you're already experiencing this turmoil, maybe it's coming in the near future. And that may sound all doom and gloom, but the fact that this card is upside down actually means that there's hope here. This card reminds you that by confiding and trusting your loved ones to help you through a tough time, they can help you take the pressure off, even if it's just to listen to a little rant, and you'll be able to come out stronger on the other side. Next, we have your possible obstacles, and the card you chose was the World. And I actually teased my friend a lot who pulled this one because he's often dealing with problems. And so the fact that his obstacles were the world, we thought that was very on brand for him. But the world itself symbolizes unity and wholeness. So I thought it was a bit of a strange choice for this position. I am taking this to mean that you have a fear of not achieving the unity and wholeness that this card represents. I think that a lot of the times the fear of not succeeding in life actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We become so afraid of doing things wrong that we don't even try. I find that's true for me, at least. And so I think this card as an obstacle is reminding you not to let yourself fall into that trap. I think this card is telling you here that you should go for it. You might be able to find your unity and wholeness. But in order to find it, you have to try. So you may as well try. The next card for our spread is our strengths or tools. And here we have the Empress, also reversed. And the Empress here is indicating a bit that you might be spending too much of your mental capacity on others. So I think what she's implying here is it's better for you to focus on yourself, at least for now. And that doesn't mean to disregard your loved ones at all, not at all. What that simply means is you should put on your own oxygen mask before you worry about others. She's saying that if you focus on yourself, you'll be able to help others even more. So, why don't you take a little bit of time and focus on loving you? And our last card for the first spread is your potential outcome, which is the Three of Swords, reversed. The Three of Swords represents a loss from your past, usually quite a serious one. But upside down, it signifies releasing that pain and coming to terms with it. So I think this card in the outcomes position is signifying that soon, if you put effort into it, you'll be able to get over and let go of one of these very strong places of loss from your past. And you'll be able to move on into even more happiness in your future. Because just because this loss happened, it doesn't mean it needs to define you. It doesn't have to stick on you. It doesn't have to be the be-all, end-all of your life. But that is our first spread. Okay, and then for our second pull, I did mention that all three of them were quite accurate for me and my friends, but this one was probably the most accurate, scarily accurate. But the first card we have for our second spread, again, this card is representing where you've come from. And we have the Three of Cups reversed, which this card reversed actually symbolizes loneliness or isolation. So in this position, this card is showing that you've come from a place where you felt lonely. Maybe this was by choice, or maybe you wished that you weren't alone and just found yourself in that place anyways. This card is basically symbolizing that 3 is a crowd and too much. But the fact that this card is in the where you've come from space also means that it looks like things are getting better in this respect. Maybe you've made some connections, or maybe you'll make some new connections soon. Then we have our next steps, and we have the 6 of Swords reversed. This card indicates that you've been trying to move on from a challenge, but you haven't been able to. Or maybe there's a transition that's looming and you're trying to resist that transition. This card here is reminding you it's better to go with the flow of life rather than resist it. change can be scary. But if we embrace the change, if we look at it in a way of how can I come out of this stronger, then you'll be all the better for it. Next, we have your obstacle. And here is the moon, representing illusion. I think this card here is warning you about projecting the fears of past events in your life onto future events. Maybe you're in a relationship that's new, but you're projecting fears of an old relationship. Maybe you're going through a problem at work, or will be in the future, that's similar to one you've been through that maybe ended badly. This card is reminding you that every situation is different. Every person is different. And just because you've had one outcome one time doesn't mean that will always be the outcome. Then we're moving on to strengths. And here we've pulled the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is saying that your greatest strength is your openness to new ideas. This could mean both intuitively, it could mean creatively, but whatever it is, it's saying that your inspiration should be embraced, even if it's for something that you didn't expect. So, this card is reminding you in the future to keep your heart and your mind open, and that there could be a new possibility coming in for you that you can't even imagine. And then our last card for the second pull, which is a really great one, by the way, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which represents satisfaction, but it also represents permanence. So this card doesn't represent quick, easy, or shallow satisfaction. This card represents deep satisfaction that lasts. This card is telling you that if you work hard and if you keep the big picture in view, then all your hard work will pay off and lead to lots of joy and contentment in your future. So that was our second pull. Okay, and then we're moving on to our third and final pull, which is also the one that I did for myself. So I'll tell you what I think it means for me in particular, by the way, because I think that's kind of fun. So, again, the first card in our spread is where I'm coming from, or where you're coming from. And we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is about balance, particularly a balance of emotions, and also a knowledge of yourself. I think for me personally, especially with all my mindfulness meditation, I think this card is implying that I'm just now coming into myself and knowing myself a bit more. But this card can also mean that you've been yearning for that knowledge of yourself. Maybe you've always wanted to understand yourself, but you couldn't quite grasp it. Next, we have our next steps. And I drew the High Priestess. And this is the card that I'm messed at the universe for my own draw. Because this card represents prioritizing intuition rather than intellect, which, without getting into too much detail, I am currently going through something, and I told myself that for once in my life, I was going to use my head over my heart in this matter. And then the universe is like, no, don't use your head. But maybe this card for me is signifying that I need balance between these two aspects. But in general, this card is telling you not to let your mind rule your decisions 100%. And that if your gut is telling you something, you should at least listen to it before you decide. Then we have our obstacle, which is the Seven of Pentacles. This card represents persistence. In a lot of tarot decks, this card shows someone who's working hard, but it can also be interpreted that they're taking a break from their hard work. So at least for me, in this position, this card is signifying that I need to have a healthy work balance. It's implying that it might become an obstacle if I work too hard and allow myself to become burnt out. So, that could be the same for you. It could mean making sure you have a balance between yourself and your work. Or it could just signify the perseverance. It could mean that you'll have an obstacle upcoming where you'll have to work very hard. But usually, with this card, it's saying if you do work hard, you will have the results that you wish. Then we have our strengths or resources. And I have the Ace of Swords. Which symbolizes a very clear mind, a very clear vision. It symbolizes you raising your sword and knowing 100% that you are on the right path. Which, for me, if you know me, I am never sure. I do think one of the only things I've been clear about in my life is my ASMR channel. So maybe for me, as my strength, this card is symbolizing that I have found my one clear purpose. Not that I think there's only one clear purpose in a life. But I think at its core, this card is reminding you to take a step back, clear your mind, think about what you want your vision to be, and then you can move forward stronger from that. And our last card for the third pull, again a pretty good last card, we have the King of Pentacles. So in the last pull we had the 10 of Pentacles, which was about permanence and satisfaction, whereas the King of Pentacles is all about wealth and abundance. So I actually think it's better to have the 10 of Pentacles. It's a more deep and fulfilling happiness, but I'm not going to say no to the wealth and abundance. I'll take the wealth and abundance over not wealth and abundance, thanks. But in this position, this card is telling you if you stay steadfast in your life, that you can achieve great things. I think, particularly with the Ace of Swords before it, it's saying if you can come with a clear vision of what you want from life, then you can achieve great things. But that is everything from today. I hope you enjoyed this little tarot card reading. Again, I am not a professional. I had to look up every card, so I'm sorry if I got something wrong. But I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is a gentle reminder to take off your headphones or turn down the volume, since there might be a loud ad soon. And if you enjoyed this video, you should definitely go like, comment, and subscribe. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next